Okay, and about the PV diagrams. See, all of you focus on the diagram here. Okay, see, first of all, we will see the theoretical PV diagram. Okay, the PV diagram is more important as compared to your TS diagram. TS diagram is not that much important. So just focus here now. See what is there in a theoretical cycle. Okay, theoretical cycle means there are many assumptions made in a theoretical cycle. We are assuming that our engine, okay, it is working on air. Okay, it is working on air. It is not working on fuel and air mixture. Okay, and there is a heat sink and there is a um, heat pump also available. Okay, and many assumptions we have made so that we can analyze the situation easily. Okay, and therefore we call it as Otto cycle. Okay, we call it as Otto cycle. So just for analyzing the situation very easily, we are considering some assumptions. Okay, so let us focus on it now. See, I will show you what are the assumptions made in our Otto cycle. Okay, see these two diagrams you all can see. All of you can see the two diagrams. This one is Otto cycle and the other is the actual cycle. Okay, this one is the actual cycle here shown. Okay, here is the actual cycle. Okay, see it is having the curves. Okay, it is not straight lines here shown. Okay, all the straight lines are not there. There is all the curves and all. Okay, but here you are having straight lines. You guys see. See, all of you. I have sent a video also yesterday. Video link. All of you have gone through it. Yes, all of you have gone through it, students.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just go through it if you are not gone through it. Okay. Now focus here. See, this is the pressure versus volume diagram. Okay, pressure versus volume diagram. Okay, and this is our theoretical cycle here, and this is our actual cycle. Okay, you can see the difference, but we will see what are the assumptions made first. Major assumptions I have written, not all the assumptions. Okay, what are the assumptions made in the PV diagram? Okay, assumptions made in the theoretical cycle. The suction and exhaust strokes are at atmospheric pressure in air standard cycle as compared to actual cycle, in which suction is below atmospheric pressure and exhaust at above atmospheric pressure. See, I will explain you the first point. The suction and exhaust strokes are at atmospheric pressures in air standard cycle. Okay, what we are assuming, the suction and the exhaust strokes are taking place at atmospheric pressure. Okay, let us see here in the diagram now. Just focus here now. See, what is happening here? All of you, just focus now. Okay, on the screen. See, there is a clearance volume shown here from year to year. Okay.
Yes, sir.
On the x-axis, yes, on the x-axis, okay, there is a clearance volume shown by VC. Okay, this is VC, and here this is after VC. There is VS. What is VS, students? What is VS?
Swept volume.
Swept volume. Very good. And what is VC? What is VC? Clearance volume.
Clearance volume.
Clearance volume.
Yes, very good. Okay. See here now. So why we have started from this point? Okay, why we have started from this point? Because there is always a clearance volume available inside the combustion chamber. Okay, when the suction stroke is starting, Okay, when the suction stroke is starting, when the air fuel mixture is coming inside the combustion chamber, what is happening is there is always a clearance volume available. Okay, there is always some volume available. Maybe there will be exhaust gases inside it initially. Okay, or there can be some burnt particles, but space is available. Okay, so there will be some air or exhaust gases available from previous cycle. So when the suction takes place, okay, see here, the piston is moving and therefore the volume is increasing. See, the volume will increase only if the piston is moving. See, the piston is moving from here to here, okay, from this point to this point. Observe it properly till 1, okay. I will mark this point as, let's say, 0, okay. This is 0 and this is my O dash. I can call it as O dash so that there should be no any confusion, okay. So this is my 0 here, okay. This is 0 from where the suction stroke is starting. So from 0 to 1, what is happening? My volume is increasing because the piston is moving. Where it is moving? Yes, where the piston is moving, students?
TDC to BDC.
TDC to BDC. Very good.
BDC.
Yes, because the piston is moving from top to bottom. Okay, so therefore, what is happening? The volume is increasing. There is enough space inside the combustion chamber. See this point here, this line here. Okay, this line. It is of TDC line, and this line here, I have written it as it is the BDC line. Okay, here see, this is the line of BDC, and here there is TDC. Okay, here there is TDC, that is top dead center. Okay, so when the suction stroke is starting, the piston is at top dead center. There is always a clearance volume available. All of you know there is a gap between the cylinder head and the piston above. Okay, I have explained it to you, all of you. So therefore there is a clearance volume available always. Okay, and then the piston is moving down the bottom dead center. It has reached the first point here. Okay, one point here. Okay, it has reached here. Therefore the swept volume is shown here. It has reached the bottom dead center. There is volume available now. It has taken air fuel mixture inside the combustion chamber. Okay, hope you are getting this, students. Okay, now see,
Yes, sir.
the volume has increased. Now what is happening? Now the compression stroke starts. Here the piston is at BDC now. Okay, at this stage the volume is, total volume is VC plus VS. Okay, here V1 here. Okay, at this point V1 will be equal to how much? V1 will be equal to VC plus VS. All of you agree with me? It is not just VS, it is VC plus VS. Okay, getting all of you? VC plus VS. Okay. So now see, when the compression stroke starts, what is happening? The piston is moving up. Okay, piston is moving up towards the top dead center. It has reached the second point. Okay, it has reached the second point, and the compression is being done. Okay, on the air fuel mixture. And what is happening? The volume is decreasing because the piston is compressing the air, and what is happening? The pressure is rising and the volume will decrease. Now the piston has reached top dead center, and again see, we have reached the VC point. That is the clearance volume. We have reached the clearance volume point 2. Again see, now from point 2 we are increasing the pressure without moving the piston. Okay, what we are assuming? Heat is supplied. It is supplied at, from here it is supplied, okay, at this process 2-3, okay, at constant volume. At constant volume the heat is supplied. Okay, in theoretical cycle, see, we are assuming this as theoretical cycle. Okay, so what is the main basic funda of theoretical cycle is, we are assuming it as the working medium is air. There is no air fuel mixture present. Okay, there is no air fuel mixture present as compared to your actual cycle. This is your actual cycle. Okay, so here what is happening, the pressure is increasing at constant volume, okay, but this is not possible practically, okay, this is not possible practically. The piston will move a little bit when the pressure is increasing inside the combustion chamber. Is it possible that the piston will not move? Do you think so? See what is happening here in the actual cycle. The pressure is also increasing, the volume is also increasing, isn't it? Getting all of you? So it is not possible to increase the pressure straight. There cannot be a straight line in actual. Okay. So this is just an assumption because we have to consider it as an Otto cycle and we can analyze it easily. Okay. Therefore, we are assuming the heat is supplied at constant volume and then the pressure is increasing. There is a very good rise in pressure inside the combustion chamber from 0.2 to 3. And what we are assuming that the piston is not moving. That is why the volume is constant. If the piston moves, then only the volume will change. Then only the space availability of the combustion chamber will change. All of you agree with me, students? Okay. So from point 3 to 4 now, the piston is moving. See, here is TDC. Okay. So from TDC, the piston is moving to the BDC. Okay, here, and this is the exhaust stroke. This is the exhaust stroke. And then again, from point 4 to 1, what is happening? The heat is rejected. Heat is rejected at constant volume. Here we are assuming that there is a heat sink. Okay, heat sink. Okay, so we are assuming that all the heat is given to the heat sink now. Okay, so it is done at constant volume. There is no change in the volume from 4 to 1. And again, what we are assuming, from 1 to back to the point to 0. Okay, back to the point to this 0 here. Okay, this here. Okay, this is O dash. I am assuming this as O dash. This is the point 0. So from 1 to 0, when it is moving in the exhaust stroke, this is our exhaust stroke. What is happening? The volume is decreasing. See, it is going towards the left. Okay, so volume is decreasing. Again, the volume has become the compression volume VC. See, here it is VC. So the volume has decreased, the exhaust stroke has taken place. Again, the next cycle will start. Again, the piston will move from this point to again to 1. Again, the volume will increase to VC plus VS. It will move to the point 1. Again, compression will be done. The pressure will rise. The piston is moving, compressing the air only here. Okay, in the air standard cycle, in this theoretical cycle, we are assuming only air as a working medium. Okay, so piston is moving from point 1 to 2. Then the heat is supplied. See, we are not assuming the spark plug is giving the spark and then the air fuel mixture is burning. What we are assuming in the theoretical cycle is the air is only burned. There is the working medium is only air here. Okay, so heat is supplied from a source here, a heat source. Okay, heat is supplied from here. Okay, and therefore the pressure is increasing. The temperature is increasing. Okay, so heat is supplied here from point 2 to point 3. Then the piston doesn't move till point 3. Then from 3 to 4, again there will be exhaust stroke. The piston moves from TDC to BDC. Sorry, 3 to 4 there will be power stroke. The piston moves from TDC to BDC. Okay, this is the power stroke. Okay, I am sorry, I told it as exhaust stroke. This is our power stroke. Okay, 3 to 4 is power stroke. The piston is moving from TDC to BDC. So we are getting power. Then again from 4 to 1, we are assuming the piston is not moving. It has reached BDC, but the piston is not moving. Only the heat is supplied to the sink. And again, the exhaust stroke starts from point 1 to 0. Piston is moving from here to here, and the heat is the exhaust gases are expelled, and therefore the piston has reached the your TDC now. Okay, the gases are expelled and the piston has reached the TDC point here. See, this line, this whole line is representing TDC. Okay, This whole line is representing BDC. Okay. So again, what will happen? It has reached the top dead center. Again, the suction will start from 0 to 1. Okay. But see, when I compare it with the actual cycle, here is the actual cycle. Okay. When I'm comparing it with this actual cycle, where I'm considering the whole air fuel mixture and all. Okay. I will show you it with the different diagram. See here. See all of you. This is your actual PV diagram. Okay. So just focus here. What is happening? See, the suction here. The point is shown is 5. I will write here as 0. Okay. Here is the point 0. Okay. Here is the point 0. Okay. Here is the point O dash. Okay. Here is the point O dash. O dash is here. Okay. Here is the point 0. Okay. For the process 0 to 1. Okay. Here the volume is BC. Okay. The volume is BC. Okay. All of you know this. So what is happening in actual is in the suction stroke, the piston is moving from here, okay, till the point 1. Okay. Here is the atmospheric line. See, this is the atmospheric pressure line, but the suction stroke is taking place below the atmospheric pressure line. See here, the process is going below the atmospheric line in this curve. So all of you know this why the pressure is below atmospheric pressure inside the combustion chamber. Yes. Can anybody tell me? Can anybody tell me, yes, students, why the pressure is below atmospheric pressure line?
Partial vacuum band.
Because of the partial vacuum which is created inside the combustion chamber, and that pressure is below atmospheric pressure. All of you. Okay. So that is why in actual cycle the suction is below the atmospheric pressure here. Piston is moving from 0 to 1. Okay. Here is the point 0. Okay. Here is the point 0. Okay. From point 0, the piston is moving down from down. See, from the arrow is shown here. It is this line which is representing the suction stroke till point 1. Then the piston moves up. Okay. Till point 2. Okay. Then what is happening? See, there is a pressure rise, and see there is a curve here. Okay, there is an immense pressure rise. Okay, but there is a curve shown here. Okay, there is a little bit of curve shown here. There is not a straight line shown. Okay, the pressure will rise immensely, but in actual diagram, see there is a curve. Okay, because of this curve, it is differentiated as compared to your this Otto cycle. Okay, so this is the actual PV diagram of your Otto cycle. Okay, so see what is happening. The pressure is rising, but there is a curve here. Okay, pressure is rising from point 2 to 3, and because of this pressure rise, what is happening, students? Yes, can anybody tell? Because of this pressure rise inside the combustion chamber. Okay, this is at very less time. Okay, this pressure rise is in very less time, and because of this pressure rise, okay, there is immense pressure at the piston, and the piston starts moving from point 3 to point 4. Okay, and there is your power stroke. Okay, there is power stroke in this. Okay, the pressure reduces, it goes till the point 4. Pressure is reducing here, volume is increasing. Okay, volume is increasing. See here on x-axis we are in the increasing stage of the volume. So till the point 4, the piston is moving from TDC to BDC. Okay, all of you know this. This is the point of BDC. So the piston has moved from top dead center to bottom dead center. There is enough space available inside the combustion chamber. So the volume has increased. Now from point 4 to point 1, what will happen? See, from point 4 to point 1, it is moving in a curve like this. Okay, and it is going till the point 0 here. Okay, it is going till the point 0. So the exhaust is above atmospheric pressure. See, the exhaust is above atmospheric pressure. I have explained it to you. See the line. The atmospheric pressure line is here, but the exhaust in actual cycle, the exhaust is taking place. The pressure inside the combustion chamber is more than the atmospheric pressure, more than the outside pressure. Yes, anyone? Why it is like that?
So that the exhaust gas are expelled because of difference in pressure.
Yes, because the exhaust gases are expelled, there will be in actual cycle, in actual situation, there will be exhaust. The pressure inside the combustion chamber will be more because the exhaust gases is heated. They are having so much of pressure. They are having so much of heat. Therefore, in actual cycle there will be the pressure will be more as compared to the outside atmospheric pressure. Therefore, what is happening? It is easily moving outside when we open the exhaust valve. When we open the exhaust valve, it is moving outside easily. Hope you are getting this, students. So let us move ahead now. See, these are all our assumptions. We were talking about the assumptions. So first assumption was the suction and the exhaust strokes, okay, are at atmospheric pressure in air standard cycle. The suction and exhaust strokes are at atmospheric pressure in air standard cycle as compared to actual cycle, in which suction is below atmospheric pressure and exhaust at above atmospheric pressure. Okay, so we are assuming in theoretical cycle the suction and exhaust strokes are at atmospheric pressure. This is the first assumption. Second, each of the strokes, that is suction, compression, expansion and exhaust, takes place during 180 degree of crank rotation. Okay, these all the strokes they are taking at 180 degree of crank rotation. Okay, so this is in difference as compared to your actual cycle. Okay, wherein see suction does not take place for exact 180 degree. I have shown you the inlet valve opens little bit earlier. Okay, and therefore the suction takes place for some more time. Compression it is a little bit different. Expansion it is little bit different. Okay, next, third point, compression and expansion processes are reversible adiabatic. See, it is not in actual situation, it is not reversible adiabatic. All of you know what is reversible adiabatic. You have studied in thermodynamics. Yes, students.
Yes, sir.
What is reversible adiabatic? What is a reversible adiabatic? Yes. Anyone? What is the adiabatic system?
एंट्रोपी कांस्टेंट रहेगा सर.
Entropy constant रहेगा. Yes. Entropy is of the gas or of the entropy of the system is constant. Okay, so what is the adiabatic system? The adiabatic system is thermally insulated system from its surrounding. Okay, thermally insulated system from its surrounding. It can however exchange work with the surroundings. Okay, it can however exchange work with the surroundings. So in actual practice, there is no such reversible adiabatic system present in your actual cycle. Okay, so the system is exchanging heat to its surroundings. All of you agree with me? In actual cycle, the system is exchanging heat with the surrounding. Where can anyone tell me where it is exchanging heat with the surroundings? Yes, at least in the power stroke, where the heat is exchanged to in the surroundings.
कूलिंग फिन्स.
Sorry,
सर साइड में फिन्स रहता है वो.
fins. Yes, very good. Any other thing?
कूलेंट.
Coolant. Yes, very good. Coolant. Okay, so the heat is given to the coolant, to the cylinder body. Okay, then the exhaust gases, okay, they are also giving heat to the valves and all those things. So here all those things are eliminated. We are just assuming the compression and expansion process are reversible adiabatic. It is thermally insulated system from the surrounding. Okay, also see no heat losses like friction losses, etc. All are neglected and it is an insulated process. Okay, next, heat addition process 2, 3 and heat rejection process 4-1 are both at constant volume and takes place instantly within no time. We are assuming it. See, within no time. Is it possible? Okay, heat addition is also taking place and heat rejection are both at constant volume and takes place very instantly. It is not possible. See, in actual cycle there is a curve like this. Okay, but for the process 2-3, but in theoretical cycle, see, it is a straight line. So what is telling, the heat addition process is taking instantly. And what is the other thing? The heat rejection process for 1 year, it is also taking place instantly in a theoretical cycle. But see, the heat rejection process in an actual cycle, it is curved. Okay, okay, here, see, 4-1. Okay, so the heat rejection processes is from 4-1 to 0 here. Okay, the heat is rejected all from this point to till the 0, till the exhaust gases are expelled. The heat is rejected in actual cycle, little bit. Okay, very slowly. See, there is less than 1 minute remaining, so all of you join if the lecture gets ended. Okay, now fifth point is the air behaves like a perfect gas. Okay, we are assuming a perfect gas so that we can analyze it easily. Okay, see, for an actual cycle of SI, the mixture of air and fuel is admitted inside the combustion chamber below atmospheric pressure. This is actual cycle I'm telling now. Okay, this is our actual cycle of SI. Okay, the mixture of air and fuel is admitted inside the combustion chamber below atmospheric pressure. Okay, the exhaust stroke 40 is above atmospheric pressure as the gases are expelled to the